Well, I thought maybe you, being one of the oldest families in Philadelphia, and me getting fairly important myself, luck, of course.
Let me have that thing.
What's the matter?
Look at this stuff. An average day in the life of a congressman, the congressman's wife. The kitchenware is prepared, 1 banana sliced, 2 fried eggs. Of all the filthy ideas, coming into a private house with a camera. Get on that horse, George Kittredge.
Tracy, what would happen if I took it into my head someday to go into politics?
You'd be elected president.
No, I mean about publicity.
Oh, not in my home. Get on that horse.
Hey, where is everybody?
Dexter! Dexter!
Hello, Dinah.
Dexter, you've come back.
Ah, Dinah, my dream girl.
Tracy! Dexter's here. It's Dexter.
What in the name of...
Well, hello, Tracy.
Oh, Dexter!
How are you, Mother Lord?
Oh, Dexter, don't you know that tomorrow's the wedding?
Oh, no. Oh, that's right. So it is.
You can go right back where you came from.
Now, Red, look. You don't think I'd miss your wedding, do you?
When did you arrive? Tell us about Junius.
Well, Junius is fine.
Oh, he should be here.
Well, he's heartbroken. I suggested representing him as best man, but...
I'm afraid George might prefer to have his best man sober.
Ouch.
I wish you'd represent George.
That's my loyal little girl, Dinah. Oh, you'll like the people Junius did send, though, I'm sure.
You haven't switched from liquor to dope by any chance, have you, Dexter?
The people Junius did send?
Yes. You don't happen to know a Macaulay Connor or an Elizabeth Imbrie, do you?
No, I don't.
Well, then, you better come along and be introduced. You see, they're great friends of Junius's.
Do they expect to stay here over the wedding? I think it's very queer indeed.
I think it's queerer than that. I think it's paranoid. You're lying, Dexter. I can always tell.
Can you, Red?
You went to work after the divorce, didn't you?
Well, yes, except for a brief interlude in a couple of alcoholic sanatoriums.
But you took a job in South America. Who for?
A magazine.
And it wasn't by any chance a magazine?
You are a mass of intuition.
And I don't suppose that Junius's friends are photographers by any chance? Oh, I knew you were low, but I never thought you would sink to anything this bad.
Well, what are you going to do?
After I telephone Junius, I'm going to do plenty.
No, now wait, Red, wait, I confess. You don't have to telephone Junius.
So you confess.
No, you're slipping, Red. I used to be afraid of that look, the withering glance of a goddess.
Oh, shut up.
Now look, Red, about this man Connor and,
I'll take care of them. Who do they think they are, barging in on peaceful people?
Now shush. They'll think you don't want them.
I want them out, and you too.
Yes, Your Majesty. But first, could I interest you in a small blackmail?
No. What do you mean, blackmail?
Well, it's an article, complete with snapshots, details, and insinuations. And it's ready for publication in Spy, and it's about your father, that dancer in New York. You see?
About Father and Tina Mara.
Oh, yes. Quiet. Dinah may be listening.
But they can't. Even if it's true, where'd you get this stuff?
From one Sidney Kidd, the editor and publisher.
He's got to be stopped.
Well, he is, temporarily. That is, if you'll allow these two to turn in a story on your wedding. And when Kidd says a story, he means a story.
I'm going to be sick.
Yes, dear. An intimate day with a society bride.
I am sick.
Well, it's tough, and that's the way it seems to be.
So I'm to be examined, undressed, and generally humiliated at 15 cents a copy, and you're loving it.
Am I, Red?
All right, I'll give them an interview. I'll give them a picture of Tracy Lord that'll stand their hair on end.
Oh, look at this joint, will ya?
What is this room? I forgot my compass.
Well, this would be the southwest parlor by living room or something. Say, what's this guy Haven up to anyway?
C.K. Dexter Haven?
Yeah, what kind of name is that?
Macaulay Culler's no homespun tag, my pet.
Yeah, well, just try calling me a Macaulay.
I knew a plain Joe Smith once. He was only a clerk in a hardware store, but he was an absolute rat. Mike, take your feet off the table.
Well, tell poor Footman to call me for lunch, will you?
How do you do?
I'm sorry.
Don't bother to get up. I'm Tracy Lord.
Well, my name is...
It's so nice having you here. How did you leave Junius?
Fine. We left Junius fine. This is Miss Imbrie.
Junius is such a lamb, isn't he?
Yes, isn't he?
It's a pity that none of the male members of the family are going to be here to welcome you.
No? Where's your father?
Darling Papa, I do hope you'll stay for my wedding.
Oh, we'd like it very much.
I'm so glad that it occurred to you.
Is your father sick?
What a cunning little camera.
I'm afraid I'm an awful nuisance with it.
Oh, but you couldn't be. I hope you'll take loads of pictures. You're a kind of writer, aren't you, Mr. Connor?
Sort of.
Of books.
Yes, books of short stories.
Under what name do you publish?
My own, Macaulay Connor.
What's the Macaulay for?
My father taught English history. I'm Mike to my friends.
Of whom you have many, I'm sure. English history has always fascinated me. Cromwell, Robin Hood, Jack the Ripper. Where did he teach? I mean, your father.
He taught in a little high school in South Bend, Indiana.
South Bend. It sounds like dancing, doesn't it? You must have had a most happy childhood there.
Oh, it was terrific.
I'm so glad.
Well, now, I didn't mean it that way.
I'm so sorry. Why?
Well, I don't know. Lack of wherewithal, I guess.
But that doesn't always cause happiness, does it? Are either of you married?
No.
No. Well, no.
Oh, you mean you were, but now you're divorced.
Well, the fact is,
Oh, come on. Surely now you're not ashamed of it?
Of course I'm not ashamed of it.
What?
Well, it was years ago. I was only a kid in Duluth, for heaven's sake.
Oh, good heavens, Liz, you never told me anything about this.
Well, you never asked me.
Well, I didn't ask you, of course not, but what's the difference?
It's Joe Smith. Hardware.
How do you like that? You're the darndest girl, Liz.
Well, I think I'm sweet.
Duluth, that must be a lovely spot. It's west of here, isn't it?
Sort of, but we occasionally get the breezes.
And this is your first visit in Philadelphia. It's a quaint old place, don't you think? Filled with relics. And how old are you, Mr. Connor? Tell me something. Are you two going together?
Well, now, I beg your pardon. Take it easy.
Odd question, I must say.
I don't see why. I think it's very interesting. Don't you agree, Miss Imbrie, that if a man says he loves a girl, he ought to marry her?
Can she be human?
Please, Mr. Connor, I asked this young lady a question.
I beg your pardon.
Well, that depends.
I'll see what's keeping Mama. You'll excuse me, won't you?
Say, who's doing the interviewing here?
Oh, you don't suppose she's caught on somehow?
Oh, no, she was born that way. But I've still got to get an interview.
Well, try the town library. You can probably dig up enough stuff to hang our whole family.
Book return, Miss Volk.
Just please leave it.
Excuse me, are you the librarian?
Yes, what does thee wish?
I'm looking for a local, what did you say?
What does thee wish?
I'm looking for a local biography, history.
If thee will consult with my colleague over there.
Uh-huh. Dost thou have a washroom?
To the left.
Thank thee. Oh, you reading?
I know this is a public library, but Oh.
Hello. Well, my book, huh? Why, you couldn't afford to buy a copy?
The bookstore didn't have one.
Oh, well, you sure you're doing the right thing now? You know what happens to girls like you when they read books like mine? They begin to think. That's bad.
These stories are beautiful. Why, Connor, they're almost poetry.
Oh, well, don't kid yourself. They are.
I can't make you out at all now.
Really?
You talk so big and tough, and then you write like this. Which is which?
Both, I guess.
No. I believe you put the toughness on to save your skin.
Oh, you think so?
I know a little about that.
Do you?
Quite a lot.
Shh, please.
Oh.
Look, let's get out of here. Want to swim?
Well, all right.
Come on. Towel, Connor?
Yeah, thanks. Boy, you've really got something here.
Where?
Well, I mean all this here. A garden, swimming pool. You could sail a small yacht on there.
What were we talking about?
Oh, my book.
Yeah. Tell me something, will you? When you can do a thing like that book, how can you possibly do anything else?
Well, you may not believe this, but there are people in this world that must earn their living.
Oh, heck, that Dexter. Look, stand by me, will you? I don't want to be alone with him.
Oh, well, certainly if you like.
Thanks.
Hello there, Red.
Well, fancy seeing you here.
Well, what's this you're drinking? Orange juice? Thanks, I'd love some.
Don't tell me you've forsaken your beloved whiskey and whiskey.
No. I've just changed their color, that's all. I'm going for the pale pastel shades now. How about you, Mr. Connor? You drink, don't you?
Oh, a little.
A little? And you're a writer? Dear me, dear me. I thought all writers drank to excess and beat their wives. You know, at one time I think I secretly wanted to be a writer.
Dexter,
What?
would you mind doing something for me?
Anything. What?
Get the heck out of here.
Oh, my dear, dear Red, I couldn't do that. You need me too much.
Would you mind telling me just what it is you're hanging around for?
Look, I think I'd better go.
No. Please don't go, Mr. Connor.
As a writer, this ought to be right up your street.
Don't miss a word.
Well, I never saw you looking better, Red. You're getting that fine, tawny look.
Oh, we're going to talk about me, are we? Goody.
Yes, it's astonishing. Astonishing what money can do for people, Mr. Connor. Not too much, you know, just more than enough. Now, take Tracy, for example. She even changed her shape. She was a dumpy little thing at one time.
Only, as it happens, I'm not interested in myself for the moment.
Not interested in yourself. You're fascinated, Red. You're far and away your favorite person in the world. Of course, Mr. Connor, she's a girl who's generous to a fault. Except to other people's faults. For instance, she never had any understanding of my deep and gorgeous thirst.
It was disgusting. It made you so unattractive.
Yes, a weakness, sure, and a strength is her religion, Mr. Connor. She finds human imperfection unforgivable. And when I gradually discovered that my relationship to her was supposed to be not that of a loving husband and good companion, but that of a kind of high priest to a goddess, well, then my drinks got deeper and more frequent.
I never considered you as that, nor myself.
You did it without knowing it. And the night that you got drunk on champagne and climbed out the roof and stood there in your nightshirt with your arms out to the moon, wailing like a banshee.
I told you I never had the slightest recollection of doing any such thing.
I know, you drew a blank. You wanted to. Mr. Connor, what would you... Where did he go?
He's gone. I hope he heard what you said, though. Make a wonderful story for Spy.
Yeah. Well, it's too bad we can't supply photographs of you on the roof.
Dexter, what are you trying to make me out as?
Tracy, what do you fancy yourself as? When I read you were going to marry Kittredge, I couldn't believe it. That's why I'm here. How in the world could you think of it?
Because he's everything you're not.
Oh, yes?
He's been poor, he's had to work, and he's had to fight for everything. And I love him, as I never even began to love you.
Maybe so, but I doubt it. I think it's just a swing for me. But Kittredge is no great tower of strength, Tracy. He's just a tower.
You hardly know him.
Well, to hardly know him is to know him well. Kittredge is not for you, Red.
You bet he's for me. He's a great man and a good man. Already he's of national importance.
Ugh, now you sound like Spy magazine talking.
You seem quite contemptuous of me all of a sudden.
No, Red, not of you. I'm contemptuous of something inside you. Your so-called strength. Your prejudice against weakness. Your blank intolerance.
Is that all?
Well, that's the gist of it, because you'll never be a first-class human being. Or a first-class woman until you've learned to have some regard for human frailty. It's a pity your own foot can't slip little from time to time. But your sense of divinity wouldn't allow that. You're a special class of American female. The married maiden.
So help me, Dexter. If you say another word,
I'll read for the moment. I've had my say.
Tracy!
Oh, look, the Tower of Strength.
I suppose I should object to this twosome.
Well, that would be most objectionable. Well, anytime either of you want my advice...
We'll give you a ring, Haven.
Thanks. Do that, will you? Well, so long, Red. Oh, here's a little wedding present. Sorry I hadn't any ribbon to tie it up with. So long, Kettridge.
So long. Should we open this, Tracy?
Go ahead. I must remember to send him a note along with the others.
Well,
What is it?
look what your friend considers a wedding present.
Why, it's a model of the True Love.
The what?
The True Love. A boat he designed and built, practically. We sailed it down the coast of Maine and back the summer we were married. My, she was yar.
Yar? What's that mean?
It means, oh, what does it mean? Easy to handle, quick to the helm, fast, bright, everything a boat should be. Until she develops dry rot.
Mr. DeMille presents Act 2 of the Philadelphia story. I wonder if you think that you have anything to do with what's going on in the war. Well, if you're a worker, perhaps the planes you worked on were in that fight. Perhaps someone in your family or one of your friends was fighting. But how about you personally? Did you have anything to do with it? If you're buying government bonds, you did, because your dollars were fighting there and doing their utmost. Everybody can send dollars fighting. I was at the post office the other day, and it took my breath away to see the people crowd up to get their bonds. Rich man, poor man, buying stamps and cash for bonds. They could almost see their money go marching. There was a satisfaction, a sense of belonging that just never comes to people that sit on the sidelines. And if you don't know that feeling, that glow, then maybe you're missing something real. Maybe 10% of your income is tough, but do it. And if 10% is easy, make it more. Are we going to win this war? President Roosevelt says we can, we must, we will. Won't you say that too, and then make it real by starting to put 10% of all your earn into war bonds? We pause now for station identification. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Act 2 of the Philadelphia story, starring Cary Grant, Katharine Hepburn, James Stewart, Ruth Hussey, and Virginia Weidler. On the eve of Tracy Lord's wedding, her ex-husband's presence is no comfort. No comfort either is Dinah, who rushes in with news of a new complication.
Tracy! Tracy! He came anyway. He's here right now.
Who's here?
Father!
Father?
On the terrace, Tracy Lord faces her father and mother. In her eyes, there is nothing but scorn.
Now, Tracy, remember, you're Uncle Willie's guest of honor tonight. You mustn't be late.
I just saw that fiancé of yours, Tracy. He roared out of here on 2 wheels. Does he by any chance ever walk anywhere?
When he likes, I expect.
I have a feeling he'll take the ring tomorrow and go right through center with it.
Oh, you idiot.
Very amusing, I'm sure. Almost as amusing as a picture of you with your arm around Mother.
Oh, I find very unamusing the stupid, undignified spectacle we're making of ourselves for the benefit of those 2 newspaper people.
Of course, inasmuch as you let us in for it in the first place.
Oh, do keep that note out of your voice, Tracy. It's most unattractive.
Oh? How does your dancer friend talk? Or does she purr?
Tracy.
You've got one heck of a nerve to come back here in your best head-of-the-family manner and strike attitudes and criticize my fiancé and give orders and mess things up generally.
Stop, please.
I can't help it. It's sickening. As if he'd done nothing at all.
Oh, anyway, it's not your affair, Tracy. If it concerns anyone, well, actually, I don't know who it concerns, except your father.
That's very wise of you, Margaret. What most wives fail to realize is that their husband's philandering has nothing whatever to do with them.
Oh, then what has it to do with?
A reluctance to grow old, I think. I suppose the best mainstay a man can have as he gets along in years is a daughter. The right kind of daughter.
How sweet.
Full of warmth, full of foolish, unquestioning, uncritical affection.
None of which I've got.
None. You have a good mind, a pretty face. You have everything it takes to make a lovely woman, Tracy, except the one essential. an understanding heart. Without it, you might as well just be made of bronze.
That's an awful thing to say to anyone.
Indeed it is.
So I'm to blame for Tina Mara, am I?
To some extent, I expect you are.
You coward.
No, but better to be one than a prig and a perennial spinster, however many marriages.
Oh, Seth, that's too much.
What did you say I was?
You want me to repeat it?
A prig and a... You mean you think I'm some kind of goddess or something?
If your ego wishes to call it that, yes. Come along, Margaret.
I can't believe this is
Tracy.
Danced enough? Oh.
You know what time it is? It's after 4.
In China, it's later than that. In China, we'd be married by now, or perhaps it's only yesterday.
Tracy, I don't understand you tonight. What's the matter?
What's the matter with everybody?
You never drink, Tracy.
You got that wrong. Prigs don't drink. Nor spinsters.
Tracy.
Nor goddesses of any variety.
Now, Tracy, that's enough.
Oh, hiya. Macaulay Culkin, Macaulay Connor, South Bend, reporting for duty. May I cut in here? George, is that all right?
I'm sorry, Connor. Culkin, Connor. We're going home after this dance.
Oh, nah, you can't do that to me. Not an old friend of Junius's.
I wish old Junius were here.
Tracy, I'll get your wrap.
He'll wrap me up.
Hello, you.
Hello.
Say, you look fine.
I feel fine.
Good. What was I saying? Oh, let's have another drink, or would Kittredge spank?
That's not what you were saying.
It is. No, of course it wasn't.
Mm-mm.
What was I saying? Oh, I know. Why do you wish your brother was here? Does he like Kittredge?
Everybody likes Kittredge.
Everybody likes Kittredge. Everybody except C.K. Dexter Haven, huh?
C.K. Dexter Haven.
Where is C.K. Dexter Haven?
He didn't come. He's home.
He's home, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I'll go and have a little talk with him.
Come on, Connor, let's have some wine.
Have some wine?
Mm-hmm.
Here, dear, here's your wrap.
No, we're going to have one more drink before
Not you, I'm afraid, dear.
Why should you be afraid, George? You know wine never affects me, not in the slightest.
C.K. Dexter Haven? Hey, C.K. Dexter, come on out. C.K. Dexter Haven.
Hello, what's up?
You are,
Well, I hope it's worth it. Come on in.
I bring you greetings. And a bottle of champagne. Champagne's a great leveler. It makes you my equal.
Oh, I wouldn't quite say that.
Oh, well, almost my equal anyway. C.K. Dexter Haven, I would like to talk to you.
Oh, all right. Let's go into the talking room. Now, don't tell me the party's over so soon.
No, I just felt like talking to you.
Well, that's nice.
I wonder if I might borrow a drink.
Certainly. Coles to Newcastle. Here, sit down.
Oh, thank you. I can't get this open in time. Goodness, I'm so drunk.
Excuse me?
What?
Nothing.
Oh, listen, are you still in love with Tracy Lord?
What?
Or perhaps you consider that a very personal question.
Not at all.
Liz thinks you are. Liz thinks you are, but of course women like to romanticize about things.
Yes, they do, don't they?
Yes, they do, don't they? You know, I can't understand how you can have been married to her and still know so little about her.
Can't you?
No, I can't you?
No.
I have the hiccups.
No.
I wonder if I might have another drink.
Certainly.
Thank you. You know, Tracy's no ordinary woman, and you said some things to her this afternoon that I resented.
Well, I apologize, Mr. Connor.
Oh, that's quite all right. But when a girl is like Tracy, she's one in a million. She's sort of like a
goddess?
No. You said that this afternoon. She's sort of like a queen. a radiant, glorious queen. And, you can't treat her like other women.
No, I suppose not. But then I imagine Kittredge appreciates all that.
Oh, Kittredge. Kittredge appreciates Kittredge. That fake man of the people, that 5-cent edition of Sidney Kidd.
I always thought Kidd himself was the 5-cent kid.
You know, Kidd's just using you like he uses everybody else. That guy's colossal. He's terrific. He's got everybody fooled.
Yes, yes. No mean Machiavelli is smiling, cynical Sidney Kidd. The world's his oyster, with an R in every month.
Oh, say, that's not bad. When did I write that?
You didn't. I did.
Oh.
Sorry.
Suppose you never heard of Kidd's little arrangement in Kansas City?
No.
Or San Francisco? Well, let me tell you about the time he went to Boston. The true story of that little jaunt would ruin him.
Oh, yes? Hey, look here. What would happen to you if I used that stuff?
Why?
Well, I might want to, very much. You see, Kidd is holding an article on Tracy's father, and this might stop him.
Oh, blackmail, huh? Well, look, you just use it. Use it with my blessing. I'm through anyway.
All right, now, come on, sit down here.
Oh, I gotta get back to Tracy.
No, not yet, not yet. Now you dictate, I'll write. Now shoot. Boston.
What?
Boston.
Boston. Oh, the time. May 1938. The place, Boston, in a hotel. Kidd had just gone to the... You know, Tracy, champagne's funny stuff. I'm used to whiskey. Whiskey's sort of a slap on the back, but champagne's a heavy mist before my eyes.
It was nice of you to bring me home. I have a little mist, too.
Hey, what's that?
Music. Dance?
I'll
tell you what. Let's have a quick swim to brighten us up. Dexter and I always swam after parties.
Oh, no, let's dip into some of this champagne.
Hello, you.
Hello.
You look fine.
Well, I feel fine.
Did you enjoy the party?
Oh, sure. The prettiest sight in this fine, pretty world is the privileged class enjoying its privileges.
You're a snob, Connor.
Oh, no doubt. Awash with champagne was Will Q. Tracy's pleasure dome on the nuptial eve of Tracy's... no, you can't marry that guy.
George, I'm going to. Why not?
Well, I don't know. I just thought I'd be for it at first, but you just don't seem to match up.
Then the fault's with me.
Well, maybe so, but all the same, you're quite a girl, Tracy Lord.
You think?
Yeah, I know.
Thank you, Professor. I don't think I'm exceptional.
Yeah, you are, though.
I know any number like me. You ought to get around more.
In the upper class? No, thank you.
What have classes got to do with it? George comes from the so-called lower class, Dexter from the upper. I'll take the lower, thanks.
Well, if you can't get a drawing room...
What do you mean by that?
Oh, my mistake.
You're insulting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, don't apologize.
Oh, who's apologizing?
I never knew such a man. What do you want?
You're wonderful. There's magnificence in you, Tracy.
Now I'm getting self-conscious. It's funny. Mike?
Yeah?
Let's
what?
I don't know. Go up, I guess. It's late.
Oh, magnificence that comes out of your eyes and your voice, and the way you stand there and the way you walk. You're lit from within, Tracy. You got fires banked down on you, hearth fires and holocausts.
I don't seem to you to be made of bronze, then.
No, you're made of flesh and blood. That's the blank, unholy surprise of it. You're the golden girl, Tracy, full of life and warmth and delight, and what goes on here? You got tears in your eyes.
Oh, shut up. Oh, Mike, keep talking. Talk, will you?
Oh, no, I've stopped.
Why has your mind taken hold again, dear Professor?
All right, now lay off that professor stuff, will you hear me?
Yes, Professor.
That's really all I am to you, is it?
Of course, Professor.
You sure? Come here.
What are you... Professor!
Are you sure?
Yes, of course, I'm... Oh!
Tracy.
Oh, golly Moses.
Oh, Tracy.
Mr. Connor.
Let me tell you something, Tracy.
No, don't. All of a sudden, I've got the shakes.
Oh, can't be anything like love, can it?
No, it mustn't be. It can't.
Would it be inconvenient?
Terribly. Anyway, I know it isn't. Oh, Mike, we're out of our minds.
Right into our hearts.
That ought to have music.
Well, it does, doesn't it? Oh, Tracy, you're so lovely.
Oh, it's as if my insteps were melting away. What is it? Have I got feet of clay or something?
Oh, Tracy.
Mike, it's not far to the pool. It's just over the lawn and in the birch grove. It'll be lovely now.
Oh, Tracy, you're tremendous.
Put me in your pocket, Mike.
Okay.
Who's that out there?
Hello, Mac.
Well, it's you, Mr. Dexter.
Any prowlers around?
No prowlers, sir.
Can I get in this way?
Well, if you can always go in round front, sir.
Yes, well, thanks, Mac. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Hey! That you, Haven?
Well, well. Hello, Kettridge.
Well, what are you doing here?
Oh, I'm a friend of the family's. Didn't you know? Just dropped in for a chat.
Now, don't try to be funny. I asked you a question.
I could ask you the same question.
Well, I telephoned Tracy and her phone didn't answer. I was worried, so I walked over from the gatehouse.
I was worried, too.
About what?
Well, what do you think of this fellow Connor? Or do you?
Now, listen, if you're trying to insinuate...
Oh, my dear chap, I wouldn't insinuate anything. Only...
We're over the rainbow.
Oh.
Listen, who's that?
Oh, that? Oh, well, come on. I'll walk you around the house and tell you all about it.
Something's going on here, and I'm staying. So are you.
Way up high.
Why, it's that Connor.
That Connor!
What's he doing with Tracy?
What's he doing with Tracy?
Now calm yourself. Just calm down.
He's carrying her in his arms. He's carrying Tracy.
Well, uh-oh.
Don't stop, Mikey. Keep crooning.
Oh, right here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a land that I've heard.
Now, what is this?
Now, easy, Kettridge. She's not hurt. Is she, Connor?
No.
Not wounded, sire, but dead.
Seems the minute she hit the water, the wine hit her.
Now, look here.
Yes, a likely story, Connor.
What'd you say?
I said a likely story. Take her into the house.
Oh, now, listen, if you think that's...
You'll be down directly?
Yes, if you want.
I want.
Hello, Dexter.
Hello, George.
Hello, Mike.
Second door to the right, Connor. Mind you don't wake Dinah up.
I'll be right back directly.
My feet are made of clay. Made of clay. Did you know?
Oh, this is horrible.
Yes, how the mighty have fallen. But if I know Tracy, she won't remember much of this. For the second time in her life, she'll draw quite a tidy blank.
Oh?
You don't believe it, do you?
Believe what?
Well, the implications of what you saw, let us say.
Well, what else am I to believe?
Well, that's entirely up to you.
I've got eyes. I've got imagination, haven't I?
I don't know. Have you?
Oh, so you pretend not to believe it.
Yes, I pretend not to.
And you don't know women.
That's possible.
And you're a fool.
Well, that's quite possible. Now, you won't be too hard on her, will you?
I'll make up my own mind what I'll do.
Well, we're all only human, you know.
All of you, with your sophisticated ideas.
Yes, ain't it awful?
Well, I'm back. What do you want to do about it?
Why, you low, sneaky...
I'll take care of this, Kettridge.
Oh. Say, listen, Haven, this is my affair. What right have you to...
Husbands. Now, till tomorrow. You can go now, Kettridge. I'll handle the rest of it, too.
I'll speak to you tomorrow, Haven.
Sure. Well,
Oh, dear.
Hey, Connor, come on, wake up. Come on, how do you feel?
Oh, now, look, if you think that
I know, I'm sorry. But I thought I'd better hit you before he did. He's in better shape than I am.
Oh, yes, well, you'll do.
Mr. Dexter! Is there anything wrong, sir?
No, not a thing, Mac. Just as quiet as a church.
Who's that lying there?
That's Mr. Connor, Mac.
Oh, doggone, I thought it might have been Mr. Kittredge.
Oh, well now, we can't have everything, Mac. Good night.
Well, good night, sir.
After a brief intermission, we'll hear the third act of the Philadelphia story. If you've started buying war bonds, perhaps you haven't figured that what you're doing for your country is working out to your own best interests, too. But it is. And there's nothing unpatriotic about the fact that these bonds are a gilt-edged investment, too, as Mrs. Brown here knows. Do you mind, Mrs. Brown, revealing your personal affairs?
Well, no, I don't. Our income is $35 a week. It's quite a sacrifice to put 10% of that into war bonds. But I told my husband that we'll save quite a bit of money.
Indeed you will, Mrs. Brown. That's been carefully figured. 10% of $35 is $3.50 a week, 50 cents a day. If you buy stamps and bonds at that rate for 5 years, you'll have bonds worth at maturity over $1,200. That'll buy you the finest car you ever drove, when the war is won.
And this is one of the safest investments in the world, isn't it?
Yes, these bonds are backed by the entire resources of the United States government. You're going to get back $4 cash for every $3 you put in.
That's a lot.
Oh yes, but there are a few people who are thinking up reasons to excuse themselves, saboteurs, for not buying these bonds. If you're one of them, your soldiers ask you to stop figuring why you can't buy them and start to find out how you can. Put 10% of your pay, every payday, into war bonds. Set your mind on victory and buy United States war bonds starting now. Our producer, Cecil B. DeMille.
The curtain rises on the third act of the Philadelphia story. The wedding day has dawned bright and fair, and the events of the wedding eve are a thing of the past, particularly for Tracy. She can't remember anything. She can't think of anything without propping her eyes open with her fingers, and she can't even see anything. To comfort her in this predicament comes the little old comforter, Dinah.
How do you feel, Tracy?
Oh, fine.
You look horrible.
I know.
Tracy, I hate you to get married and go away.
I'll miss you, darling. I'll miss all of you.
You know, I had the funniest dream about you last night.
Did you?
I dreamed I got up and went over to the window. And guess what I dreamed I saw coming out of the woods?
I haven't the faintest idea. A skunk?
Well, sort of. It was Mr. Connor.
Mr. Connor?
Yes, with both arms full of something. And guess what it turned out to be?
What?
You!
Me? Mr. Connor was,
carrying you. Wasn't it funny? It looked sort of like you were coming from the pool.
The pool. I'm going crazy. I'm standing here suddenly on my own two hands and going crazy. Then what?
Then, after a while, I opened my door a crack, and there he was in the hall, still coming along with you, puffing like a steam engine. His wind can't be very good.
Then what?
Well, then he... Guess.
Oh, I couldn't possibly.
Then he just sailed right into your room with you. And that scared me, so I got up and went to your door and peeked in to make sure you were all right. And guess what?
What?
You were. He was gone by then.
Gone? Of course he was gone. He was never there.
I know, Tracy.
Well, I should certainly hope you did.
It was just a dream, I guess, Tracy. Dexter says so, too.
Dexter? Dinah Lord, you little fiend. If you've told Dext...
Oh, morning.
Oh, hello.
I'm testing the air. I like it, but it doesn't like me. Well, hello, Dinah.
How do you do, Mr. Connor?
Did you have a good sleep?
Wonderful, wonderful. You?
Marvelous. Have you ever seen a handsomer day?
Never, never. What had set you back?
Oh, I got it for nothing, for being a good girl.
Well, Dinah, how are you?
Don't worry, I'm going.
Why should you?
Well, I guess you must have things you wish to discuss. Only remember, it's getting late.
She's always trying to make situations.
Oh. Well.
What's the matter with your chin?
Oh, what? Does it show very much?
A little? What happened?
Well, I guess I stuck it out too far.
Into a door in the dark?
Yeah, that's it. Well, Tracy, what about you? Are you all right?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, of course. Why shouldn't I be? I had a simply wonderful evening. I hope you enjoyed it too.
I enjoyed the last part of it.
Really? Why, especially the last...
Well, Tracy, are you asking me?
You mean the swim?
Oh, yes.
Oh, we did swim. And, so forth, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Oh, Tracy, darling.
Mike!
What can I say to you? Tell me, darling.
Not anything? Don't say anything, and especially not darling.
Oh, so then you're going through with it, huh?
Through with what?
With the wedding.
Well, why shouldn't I?
Well, you said last night.
Oh, I said a lot of things last night, it seems.
Okay. No dice. Also, no regrets about last night, huh?
Well, but why should I have?
Well...
You don't know what I mean. I'm asking you. Tell me straight out. Tell me the reason why I should have... Oh, no, don't tell me anything.
All right.
Come on now, Red. Drink this down. Doctor's orders.
What is it?
Just the juice of a few flowers. It's a type of stinger. It removes the sting.
Oh, Dex, don't say that.
Why not, Red?
Nothing will. Nothing ever can. Oh, Dexter, I've done the most terrible thing to you.
To me? Oh, I doubt that. I doubt it very much, my dear.
Oh, Dex, what am I going to do?
Why ask me, darling? Where do I come into it anymore? Aren't you confusing me with someone else? A fellow named Kettridge or something?
George, I've got to tell him.
Tell him what, darling?
I've got to tell him.
Well, you've got to tell him, I suppose. But if he's got any brains at all, he'll have realized by now what a fool he made of himself.
When?
Last night.
Was he here too?
Sure.
Oh, good golly, why didn't you sell tickets? Say something, Dex. Say anything.
No, you do.
Oh, Dex, I'm such an unholy mess of a girl.
Oh, now that's no good. That's not even conversation.
But never in my life, not if I live to be 100, will I ever forget how you tried to stand me on my feet again today.
Oh, go on. You're in great shape. Tell me, what did you think of my wedding present? I like my presents at least acknowledged, you know.
It was beautiful.
Yeah?
And sweet, Dexter.
Yes, she was quite about the true love, wasn't she? My, she was yar.
She was yar, all right. I wasn't, was I?
Not very. Oh, you were good at the bright work, though.
I made her shine.
Mm-hmm. I'm designing another one now, along more practical lines.
What do you call her?
I thought the True Love Second.
Dexter, if you call any boat that, I promise you I'll blow you and it out of the water. I'll tell you what you can call her if you like.
What, darling?
In fond remembrance of me. The easy virtue.
Now, shut up, Red. I can't have you thinking things like that about yourself.
Well, what am I supposed to think when I don't know. I don't know anything anymore.
Oh, well, now that sounds very hopeful, Red. That sounds just fine.
Tracy, we're almost ready. Stand up here. Let me see your dress.
Mother,
Oh, look, dear, it's lovely. George will be right over. Oh, here, I forgot. Here's a note he sent you this morning.
A note?
Good morning, Mr. Connor. Hello, Miss Imbrie.
Good morning.
Good morning.
By the way, Dexter, Mr. Sidney Kidd telephoned. I was to tell you that you win. Whatever on earth does that mean?
Fine.
Well, I have a feeling it won't be so hard for me to resign now.
And belts will be worn tighter this winter.
Well, Red, I'm afraid this is the deadline.
So is this. Listen, everybody. It's from George. My dear Tracy, I want you to know that you will always be my friend, but your conduct last night was so shocking to my ideals of womanhood that my attitude toward you and the prospect of a happy and beautiful life together has been changed materially.
Tracy.
Oh, hello, George. Come and listen.
Tracy, in front of all these people.
It's only a letter from a friend. They're my friends, too. Here's the last of it. Your breach of common decency certainly entitles me to a full explanation before going through with our proposed marriage. In the light of day, I am sure that you will agree with me. Yes, George, I quite agree with you.
That's all you have to say?
What else?
On the very eve of your wedding, an affair with another man.
Oh, now, wait just a minute. Kittredge, it may interest you to know that this so-called affair consisted of exactly 2 kisses and a rather late swim.
Thanks, Mike, but there's no need to defend me.
After which, I deposited Tracy in a room and promptly returned down here to you two, which doubtless you'll remember.
Doubtless, without a doubt.
You mean to say that's all there was to it?
I do.
Why? Was I so unattractive? So distant? So forbidding or something that you couldn't
Well,
even
this
bear
is fine talk, too.
I'm asking a question.
You were extremely attractive, but you were also a little worse, or better, for wine, and there are rules about that.
Thank you, Mike. I think men are wonderful.
The little dears.
Then if it hadn't been for the drink last night, all this might not have happened?
Apparently nothing did. What made you think it had?
Well, I'm not going to quibble, Tracy. Let bygones be bygones. Now, what do you say?
Yes, and goodbye, George.
I don't understand.
Please, goodbye. You're too good for me, George. You're 100 times too good.
But
And I'd make you most unhappy. Most. That is, I do my best to.
All right. Probably it's just as well.
Yes, I thought you'd finally come to that conclusion.
I have a feeling you had more to do with this than anyone.
Possibly, but you were a great help.
You and your rotten class.
Oh, class my eye.
You're on your way out, the lot of you. And good riddance.
Well, there goes George.
Hey, come on! They're waiting for you!
Oh, my sainted aunt!
Don't just stand there. You better think of something.
She's running late. Shut that door! Shut the door! Dex, did you see them out there? That welter of faces?
My, they look solemn.
Oh, what in the name of all that's holy am I to do?
Tracy?
Yes, Mike?
No, look, I got you into this thing and I'll get you out of it. Will you marry me, Tracy?
No, Mike, but thanks, but no.
Why not?
Because I don't think Liz would like it, and I'm not sure you would, and I'm even a little doubtful about myself, but I am beholden to you, Mike. I am most beholden.
But they're in there. They're waiting.
Mike, don't get too conventional all at once, won't you? There'll be a reaction.
Come on, cheer up, Red. It'll be all right. You've been got out of jams before.
Tracy?
Mother?
Oh, it's all right, dear. Your father will make a very simple announcement.
Is there anything special you want me to say, Tracy?
No, I'll say it. Whatever it is, I'll say it. I won't be got out of anything anymore. Thanks. Tell them to stop the music.
Tracy, listen.
Dex, what can I say?
Just open that door and go ahead. I'll prompt you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Dex. Well, Dex?
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 years ago, I did you out of a wedding in this house by eloping to Maryland.
2 years ago, you were invited to a wedding in this house, and then I did you out of it by eloping to Maryland.
Right, which was very bad manners.
Which was very bad manners.
But I hope to make it up to you by going through with it now as originally planned.
But I hope to make it up to you by going beautifully through with it now as originally and most beautifully planned.
So if you'll just keep your seats for a minute.
So if you'll just keep your seats a minute.
That's all.
That's all. Dexter, you sure?
Not in the least, but I'll risk it. Will you?
Yes, you bet. You didn't do it just to soften the blow?
Oh, no, Tracy.
Nor to save my face.
Oh, it's a nice little face.
Oh, Dex, I'll be yar now. I promise to be yar.
You be whatever for my redhead. Now, are you all set?
All set.
Will you be best man, Mike?
Oh, I certainly will, CK.
Maid of honor, Liz?
Matron of honor. Remember Joe Smith?
How did this ever happen?
Well, come on, let's get in there. See you soon, Red.
See you soon, Dex.
Tracy, darling.
I love you, Father.
I love you too, Tracy.
Never in my life have I been so full of love before.
Come along, come along.
Wait, how do I look?
Like a queen, like a goddess.
And do you know how I feel?
Oh.
Like a human being.
America applauds the Philadelphia story and Cary Grant, Katharine Hepburn, James Stewart, and Ruth Hussey. Each contributed time and talent to this radio effort to help win the war. And as we look out on the world tonight, we find that the war has indeed reached a crisis. Lieutenant Stewart, what's your personal slant on our part in the war?
Well, sir, in the Army, we'd like to see everyone stop criticizing our allies in England. The next time, stop before you talk and ask yourself, what have I done that gives me the right to criticize people who fought for 3 years as bravely as the English?
Wouldn't have to bring that up, Jimmy, if everyone realized that, above all, the enemy wants to see our side divided. And now, Cary Grant.
Well, CB, if I could visit everyone listening tonight, I'd want to convince them just of one thing, that we've all got to win this war. And by we, I mean the Russians, the Chinese, the English, and the Americans. You know, a very wise American, Benjamin Franklin, once said, "We must all hang together, or assuredly we shall all hang separately."
As true today as it was 160 years ago, Cary. Where's Katharine Hepburn?
I think I would like to ask every mother if she's heard of the crime of Lidice. That's a village in Czechoslovakia where every man was killed by the Nazis. I would ask her to imagine a knock at her door tonight, a knock and a door crashing in, a father and his son dragged out to be shot, the girl and the mother scattered in cruel concentration camps, never to see each other again. I would say to that mother, if our side doesn't win this war, you can cross out the name of Lidice and write in the name of Middletown, USA.
That time will be remembered, Katharine. It's Ruth Hussey.
It must be clear by now to all Americans that you can't compromise with the men responsible for Lidice. But I've heard people say that we'd be better off if we could make peace with Hitler now. Isn't it plain by now that we must win or surrender? And if we surrender, isn't it plain what we can expect?
Plain. There can be no compromise. This is just one long fight, one united fight, shoulder to shoulder with each other and with our valiant allies. But at the end of the road, there's something worth fighting for, a world where you and your family can live in peace and freedom.
Yes, CB, in a world we knew before and will know again. By the way, what is the Victory Theater planning for next week?
Well, next week's Victory Theater will come from New York City, Cary, and one of the Columbia Network's most popular programs will take over for the evening. It's Hit Parade with Barry Woods, Joan Edwards, Mark Warnow's orchestra, and the Hit Paraders in the leading popular song hits of the week. The same show millions enjoy every Saturday night.
It's been a very great privilege for me to have part in the first Victory Theater program, Mr. DeMille. Good night, sir.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
Good night.
This was a brilliant opening night. Good luck, Lieutenant. Our sponsor, the United States government, joins me in inviting you to listen again next Monday night when the Victory Theater presents The Hit Parade with Barry Wood, Joan Edwards, Mark Warnow's orchestra, and the Hit Paraders. This is Cecil B. DeMille saying good night to you from Hollywood.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Victory Theater is your theater, a rallying place where you can meet with your fellow Americans and with your government each Monday night. We shall play certain true facts about the war before you each week, and yes, we shall ask you to do something about those facts, and on what you do may depend the safety of your home and the lives of those you love. The United States government thanks the Columbia Broadcasting System and all who contributed their services to tonight's Victory Theater. Heard in tonight's play were our wonderful cast: Eileen, Forster, Keck, Devin and Heather Kurtz, Elise Roth, Kelly and Pletcher, Milo Martinez, Kristen Murphy, Brooke Steinhauser, Jennifer Daltrey, Jason McCool, And then from all of us at the Lux Team at Columbia Broadcasting, my co-host Adam Irish, our good citizen Mrs. Anne-Marie Biernacki, our director Robert Shepard, on musical accompaniment Lucy Abbott Polishin, and I, your host Kristen Van Uden. Until next time, God bless America. Good night.
And cheers.
Thanks, everybody.
Hey, good job and bravo.
Until next time.
That was
Fabulous job. Good work.
Thanks, guys.
Fantastic.
Hey, that was so fun.
That was so
Recording
fun.
be up where we can hear it.
Yes, but I have to confess, I forgot to hit record at the start and didn't start recording until like 5 minutes in. Sorry.
Oh well,
that's
there
okay.
we go.
I thought you were going to say 5 minutes ago.
5 minutes in isn't so bad.
Well done, all.
Yes, thank you, everybody.